Hello, beautiful people. Me again. I'm doing this halfway through the week because I'm doing something exciting in my next vlog with my little boy. So I thought I'll just kind of do this one and see how it goes. I kind of want to touch a little bit on being in a women's refuge because I don't think a lot of people really know what it could be like for someone in my past experience and my past position. Hopefully this could help someone, hopefully, to understand the situations that could happen once you make the decision to leave an abusive relationship, whether it be physical abuse or mental abuse. Okay, so on the 28th of September 2015, I made the decision to leave my ex-partner and the father of my child, with my 5.5 months old at the time. I wouldn't say it was an easy decision because I never wanted that to really ever happen, but my hands were tied technically. The process wasn't easy at all because what I didn't want to do was let him know straight away and then anything could happen. I had to kind of be a stealth ninja. That weren't great. But anyway, overall, the process of being in refuge was weird because I never really knew anything about a women's refuge beforehand. So I had to do a bit of Googling. Now, sometimes Google could be your friend and it also could be your enemy because you want to research different things and find out what to expect on certain things, and sometimes it could be good and sometimes it could be bad. Initially I was scared because I didn't really know what to expect. In the beginning it was a phone call from one of the refuge workers just to kind of find out the reasons why I wanted to leave and what was kind of going on in a nutshell. So I was on the phone with her for about half an hour to 45 minutes, kind of just talking, giving a vague account of things that were going on. She then said that she'll get back to me and let me know if there's any spaces available for me to be able to move in to one of their refuge homes. And then usually what would happen is within 24 hours of that call, you would usually then have to move into wherever they want to put you. Could be anywhere in the UK. But for me, it was a little bit different because this might sound a bit like materialistic, but everything that was in my previous home was mine. All of the furniture, everything. And for me, I worked very, very hard to get all of the things that I had in that home for me to feel comfortable in a sense. So I wanted all of that out and had to be put somewhere because I wasn't going to allow him to be luxuriating over my things. So yeah, I had to sort all of that out. So that's why it was on the 28th of September. Anyway, fast forward a couple of hours after that day, my dad dropped me off at the station with a couple of bags that I had with my son in tow. It was a secret location and they always are secret locations for obvious reasons. So a taxi picked me up and took me to the premises. I personally was terrified because I didn't know where I was going, who was going to be there, whether it's going to be a hostel, like what was it going to be like, I didn't know. It was terrifying. Anyway, I eventually got there. The lady that greeted me was amazing. Like, we're friends to this day. Like, she's an amazing person. And again, I didn't really know what to expect once I walked in there. I had my own room, kind of like this one, It had a single bed. It had a travel cot, a wardrobe, just the basic essentials really. And obviously for me it was a bit of a scary situation because obviously I was just like, initially, where's my son going to sleep? Where am I going to sleep? How is it going to be? But basically you're starting with nothing again. The next day I met the in-house refuge worker that I was going to be liaising with in my time there. Initially it was just a kind of meet and greet and kind of showing me around properly, the things I had to do, things I was allowed to do. And then there was just a load of paperwork. Like, no one told me about the paperwork. And I was in the office for about 2 hours going through all of the ins and outs. So obviously family and friends wasn't allowed to know where I was. Location on my phone would have to be switched off. The pros and cons, the legal stuff, all of that. But for my experience in general, it was hard because there was no real assistance. As I said, I can only speak for me. Everyone else that was in there, they have their own account. But for me, I didn't have any help, any assistance whatsoever. Everything had to be done by myself. The refuge worker that I had, she wasn't helpful at all. So yeah, it was just scary. A lot of the time I felt very, 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 very alone. And it wasn't easy to obviously not be able to have my family around. That was hard. After leaving that situation to come into this one and not know where I was going to be, like where I was going to be able to go. I didn't know where the doctors were. I didn't know anything like that. So I had to figure it out for myself. Luckily though, about a month later, I had pre-planned to go on holiday. That was amazing. But the refuge, will I say company? I don't know. Even though I had pre-booked the holiday, I had to write a letter to the manager stating the reason why I was going on holiday, how long I was going for, who I was going with, the country I was going to, when I would be back. Yeah, in like a little letter thing. And if I didn't give in that letter, I wouldn't have been able to go, so then I would have lost out on all that money. And sorry, what? I'm going to Barbados, mate. It's my holiday. I paid for it. So yeah, that was a bit irritating, but it was something to look forward to because I needed it. And I had already said to my sister Victoria I was going to stalk her to go to Barbados anyway, so I had to live up to that. Yeah, so the process wasn't great overall. The council wasn't helpful whatsoever. The duration of me staying in the refuge home was supposed to be only a year. And in that time, the council was supposed to help you to be able to possibly help you find a home, whether it be a council home or a private property. And no matter how much I tried, I was at that council religiously. I got no help. The refuge didn't help me very well. They tried their best to a certain degree, but I feel like there could have been better help in general. I feel like overall, the refuge helps you get out of the situation that you're in to make sure that you're safe and that you can start again. But there's no transitional period. So when you're speaking on the phone initially with the refuge aid, there's no one to kind of help you transition where you can understand what you would be encountering once you leave. There isn't that. There isn't anyone there once you get there to be able to say, okay, Shah, this is what's going to happen. If you need anything, come to me. Even though there were weekly meetings every week to kind of find out how things are progressing with the council, it wasn't how things are progressing with you as a human and you as a person that's left a certain situation. There, as I said, there's just no transitional periods. It was also hard because even though the women that were there, majority of them were amazing, I've actually calculated that there was 17 women, minus myself, that in that whole 18-month period that were in staying and then leaving that property. That's a lot. That's a lot of homes that were disrupted because of a situation. And a lot of the women were including children. And those poor children had to be uprooted, including mine. So it made me think like, wow, like this happens on a regular basis. But a lot of them needed more help within the confines of that property than I think that BWA really than they really knew. I'm saying all of this just so you understand that it's okay to feel down to a certain degree, but this has also made me understand that you have to fight for what you want. And if you don't, they're just not going to bother with you, and that's not a good look either. You're uprooting your whole life. You're starting afresh all over again. You're leaving your family, you're leaving your friends, you're leaving what you know, you're leaving your home that you've built. And if you're going to do this, make sure you know within yourself that it's the right thing to do. Do not second guess. Do not think, oh no, I don't know if I'm making the right decision. If you have decided to leave, to start again, please, please, please make sure it is the right thing for you to do, and try your best not to go back. Because you never know, if you go back, it could be the worst decision. And please don't think that I didn't think about going back to him, because I did. On many occasions, because I just couldn't deal. But then I had to slap myself and be like, Shah, are you done? You left that for a reason, and you've been in this situation now, in this refuge for X amount of time with your son. You need to understand that it's okay, like, you're going to get these little wobbles. The reason why I'm so far away from my family now is because I had to go through a different line of getting a property through a website called Home Finder UK. They helped a lot, like within about a month to six weeks, I think. I got this property after speaking to them. To be fair, if I knew about them a lot sooner, I probably would have got somewhere a lot sooner. So if you're in this current situation and you don't mind moving far away from your family, or even if you are up north and all of that, go to homefinderuk.org. That's the website. And yeah, they will help you. Yeah, so refuge isn't easy in the slightest, but once you get to the finish line, it's amazing, because you know that you've completed your journey, and it's the start of something brand new and helpful. So if there are any questions, put them in the comments box below. I'll be happy to answer anything that you have to ask me. My son's going a little crazy downstairs. I did promise him that I'll take him out, so I kind of need to leave now. So, peace, and comment, like, subscribe. As I said before, just have a lovely day. Hopefully it won't rain, because I ain't got time for that today. I got things to do. But yeah, I'll do another vlog in another couple of days with the Munchman. And yeah, enjoy your day, guys. See you soon. Bye.